The objective of this lesson is to identify the mean absolute deviation, or MAD, as a measure of variability. Let's take a look at a line plot showing the number of tangerines in a 3-pound bag. One way to analyze the data is to find the average of the data. First, add up all of the numbers. The sum is 141. Then divide 141 by the total number of numbers we added. There are 14. 141 divided by 14 is 10 7/100. For today's lesson, we are going to round 10 7/100 to the nearest whole number, 10. Another way to analyze the data is to find the median. In order to find the median, we need to line up all of the data in numerical order. Now, count or mark off a number on each side until we reach the middle number or numbers. In this case, we have 2 number 10s. We can add these numbers together and divide by 2, or we just know that 2 number 10s will still be 10. The median is 10. We can also look at the range of the data. In this data set, the largest number of tangerines in a bag is 14, and the smallest number is 8. 14 minus 8 equals 6. The range of this data is 6. Another way to measure the spread of data is to find the average of the distances of all the data points from the mean, or the mean absolute deviation. Using a table, we can find the mean absolute deviation. First, circle the mean on the line plot. Using the mean from the tangerine example, we will need to circle 10. Next, we will need to find how far away each data point is from 10, or the deviation from 10. The first column represents each data point for the tangerines. The second column will represent how far the data is from the mean, or 10. The data points 8 are -2 from 10. The data points 9 are -1 from 10. The data points 10 are 0 away from 10. The data point 11 is +1 from 10. Data point 12 is +2 from 10. And data point 14 is +4 from 10. Remember that distance is always positive, so to fill in the last column, we will use the absolute value of each distance, which means we just take away the negative signs. The reason we have used this process is to measure data variability by finding the mean distance from the mean data set. The next step is to add all of the absolute distances up. This equals 17. Then divide 17 by the total number of numbers in the absolute distance column. There are 14 numbers. For this problem, we will round this large decimal number to 2 decimal places. This equals 1 21/100. 1 21/100 is the MAD, or mean absolute deviation. The mean absolute deviation tells us that the data set does not have a large spread and has little variation in the number of tangerines in a bag. The objective for this lesson was to identify the mean absolute deviation, or MAD, as a measure of variability. We met this objective by creating a table to find the distances of the numbers from the mean of 10. Next, we added up all of the numbers and divided by the number of data sets we had for the number of tangerines found in a 3-pound bag.